This is a disaster. The impossible is near. The winter storm is coming, and Santa's here. Not like last time, even worse. Santa is back, and he's ready to fill his sack. No, it's not the presents that Santa's sack is full of. If you've ever asked your mum or dad, or anyone, why is Santa's sack full after Christmas, then you're about to find out. My story will make you believe differently. This story is not for young children, as they may never celebrate Christmas again, and certainly don't record Santa or try and hide from him. There'll be no escape, no matter how hard you try. You've seen Santa at Lapland or somewhere, right? Well, I have. I have seen him in my own house, early morning, around 4 in the morning on Christmas Day, and I'm 22. After this experience, I want everyone to never go and visit Santa somewhere, except your house, because that gift he promised when you met him will never come. Instead, death will come. Here's my story so you can believe in Santa a little different. Now, you may think I'm spoiling next Christmas, as Christmas Eve starts in 3 days, so I'm going to make this story more calm than it actually was. It all started the 19th of December 2018. I was taking my young 5-year-old cousin to see Santa somewhere. It looked amazing. There was snow there and it looked huge, and there were activities to see. My cousin had apparently received a letter from Santa, saying the normal things Santa would say in a letter and the address of where he'd meet us. And if I'm honest, I was quite nervous. I knew what was happening, but not well enough to tell. The journey would take 2 hours, so we left 4 in the afternoon in my car. It was a boring journey, to be honest, and after an hour we got so bored when we finally entered a snowy place, and we all started singing Christmas songs. Me, my uncle, my brother, and my cousin, who I called Jimmy. When we finally arrived, we couldn't see colourful lights or even any people greeting us in the entrance. My uncle wasn't sure that I took the right turn, but the letter said the exact address on the sat-nav. There was a dirt car park with 3 vans parked and 1 Toyota. We parked in between the vans and got out of the car. In the distance, there were white lights. We followed the muddy, snowy path, and my brother said, "Hey, this isn't real snow. Look above." And then we all looked. There were machine-started trees with fake white snow falling. What the And then I was cut off by an old man's laughing. But it didn't sound like Santa. It sounded like a man who had been smoking for his whole life and had a really croaky voice. We all turned to the direction, and we noticed a warehouse. When we walked up to it, there was a sign at the front saying, "Welcome to Santa's workshop." When we entered, it was pitch black. There was faint Christmas carols coming from what sounded like 30-year-old speakers that were covering dust. Jimmy was hugging my uncle the entire time, and the floor was soaking wet. We heard sounds of shoes walking right in front of us, and then fading. We then heard a click, and the lights one by one turned on. We heard a loud voice saying, "Ho, ho, ho." As all the lights turned on, we saw the leg of a man disappear out the front door, and it slammed shut. Water was slowly dropping from the ceiling. There were puddles on the floor and dirty wooden benches with broken chairs and teddy bears ripped open. On our right, we heard children laughing. There were younger kids dressed in dirty elf suits on workbenches, ripping and tearing toys and stuffed bears. We exited through the same door the person went out, and it took us outside to a dense forest with fake snow and weird stuffed toys hanging from trees. We followed the path and then heard carol bells in the distance, and every time they stopped, we thought we heard rapid footsteps, but nobody was around. We came to an old shack that said Santa's Grotto, and then when we entered, Jimmy in the middle, there was a man in a really dirty Santa outfit and a beard that really didn't look real. I thought we were set up until the person said, "Hello Jimmy, welcome." His head was hanging, and Jimmy tried to run up to Santa, but my uncle held him back. We walked over and then froze. He lifted his face, and his face wasn't human. Jimmy screamed, and the man laughed and ran straight for Jimmy, but we started beating Santa up, and Jimmy cried, "Don't hurt Santa." To where I had to break it to him, "That isn't Santa." And Jimmy ran to hug me. We heard footsteps as we ran to our car, and when we got outside we saw men dressed as elves trying to break into our car. We screamed at them and they ran off. We jumped in the car, and just as people came out of the forest from every corner, we drove the hell out of the place. The police came and they said that 20 children had been missing after walking into that woods on Christmas. When the police arrived at the place, they found 20 kids starving and crying. Sadly, the people were never found until now. On the night of Christmas Eve, I heard something right outside my room. Footsteps. I froze. My door had a lock on it, so I locked the door and made as quiet noise as I could. The footsteps went downstairs. I unlocked my door and crept onto the stairs and saw the outline of a person putting presents under my tree. I grabbed the kitchen knife and crept behind the person. Tucked into Santa's suit was a huge butcher knife and a pistol. The thing turned around. Its fingers were bony and burnt, same as its face. The eyes, huge and black, and the mouth was open as wide as a hand. It had no shoes, just really bony, burnt feet. And then the thing under the suit was extremely skinny, like its wrists were twigs, and its ribcage was like it popped out. Now here's where the horror began. Its mouth stretched open wider and wider, and then it let out the most ear-piercing sound. And it took out a bat and smacked my knees, making them buckle and me fall. It grabbed my throat and began squeezing. I pulled out my knife and stabbed it in the face, and it screamed louder than any sound, and released its grip and fell to the ground. It crawled like a crazy zombie out the front door, which was wide open, and I slammed it and called the police. They came and saw blood on the floor, and I explained the story. I felt so happy that I had security cameras. The police were frozen like statues. A police guard stayed outside my house, and I felt safer than ever. The next morning it left, and I had nothing or anything to do with that Santa again. I had a fun Christmas, and I cannot wait for the next.